If you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm going to try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. It could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you.
So I did not want to go back and forth with Katt Williams like that. That bothered me so bad. That really bothered me.
It was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes. With a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life.
If you've touched the internet this week, then you already know Katt Williams is back in the hot seat. That infamous clip with radio host Wanda Smith has resurfaced, and the timeline is eating it up all over again. Who could forget Wanda bragging? I do a really nice broccoli. They love my broccoli, and they love my baked chicken. Then Katt pounced, flipping it live on air, asking how anybody could possibly burn broccoli, roasting her on her own show. Now people are saying this wasn't just a clapback, it was career-ending. Some even call it flat-out cruel, claiming Katt humiliated Wanda so bad she never bounced back. What makes it even crazier is the timing. This all comes right after Katt issued a public apology for joking about Michael Jackson in an old routine. And now, fans are turning up the pressure, demanding he add Wanda's family to that apology list too. But not everybody's buying it. Dave Chappelle came crashing in to defend Katt, saying what happened wasn't disrespect. It was comedy, plain and simple. Chappelle made it clear. Katt did what Katt always does, firing back when somebody tests him. And then he flipped the whole thing back on fans, calling them out for digging up decade-old footage just to stir today's cancel culture drama. So let's break this down. What really went down between Katt and Wanda, and why is this old interview suddenly spinning like it's brand new? Why is Dave Chappelle stepping up, saying cancel culture is doing the most again? Here's the setup.
That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst motherfuckers I've ever tried to entertain in my fuck.
Katt Williams shocked everyone by apologizing to Michael Jackson's family, something nobody ever thought they'd see. He admitted that in his old specials, he crossed a line mocking MJ, and now he deeply regrets it. In Katt's own words, he confessed those jokes weren't just about comedy, they were about being used. He said the industry gave him that stage because they knew he'd tear down his own people, even legends like Michael Jackson. That revelation hit different. But the second he put it out there, social media turned on him again. Instead of applauding growth, they dragged him for hypocrisy, demanding he extend that same accountability to Wanda Smith. Twitter caught fire instantly. One user blasted, "Katt Williams is a POS for what he did to Wanda Smith," while another piled on, "I'll never forget when Katt clowned Wanda and the whole city of Atlanta laughed with him." And just like that, the MJ apology got pushed to the side. The focus shifted right back to that messy Wanda showdown, with people reframing it as career sabotage. Suddenly, Katt was caught in another storm of internet backlash he couldn't dodge. Yeah, people laughed, but let's keep it real. Katt has a long track record of crossing that line from funny to flat-out disrespectful. Now that Wanda's gone, suddenly Atlanta wants to rewrite history, acting like they always supported her. Folks online are even cracking jokes that if Wanda could, she'd be haunting the same people calling her a legend today.
This might be the noblest of professions. Robin Williams had a bar that I love. He said comedy is the only job you can have where you can use everything you know. And that's true. Use more than you know. Use what you think. Use it. Don't be afraid. Don't let these bitch-ass niggas button your lip. Say it anyway.
But don't get it twisted. Katt's not standing alone. He's got some heavy hitters backing him, including Dave Chappelle himself. And Dave didn't just toss out a casual defense. He went full throttle. He compared it to when people tried to cancel him over his trans jokes, doubling down that comedy is the last real space for free speech, and no comedian should ever let themselves be silenced. That struck a nerve online. But here's the kicker. This whole saga isn't just about cancel culture. There's a darker twist barely anyone talks about. Katt once claimed Wanda and her husband actually pressed him in real life over that joke. Crazy, right? To really get it, you've got to rewind all the way to September 2018. That's when Katt and comedian Red Grant pulled up to Frank and Wanda in the morning, while Red was promoting shows in Atlanta. On paper, it was supposed to be a quick 20-minute radio spot. Instead, it blew up into V103's most viral clip ever. And if you've seen it, you know why. Katt hijacked that interview the second Wanda tried to take a shot at him and completely missed. At first, everything felt light-hearted, just your standard friendly banter. But the tone flipped fast. What started as small jabs turned into a full-on roast session, with Katt firing back at every single thing Wanda threw at him.
You at under the sound
Because
of my
she's
voice,
real.
do you have a real co-worker?
Right.
Do you have a ratchet friend? Do you have a sister? Do you have a cousin? Do you have a nephew? Do you have a niece? Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy, and then all of a sudden divorced him, then said he abused her, then wrote a book, then said he didn't, and then now we're at Brad Pitt. So hey, you can say whatever you want. She said she got a disease for JJ. Don't nobody check for that. I support Linnell, Melanie Camacho, Miss
Yep.
Laura. All the people that got skipped over in the list between now and then. There's no shade for nobody.
Yeah,
We are in the only business where, as a black woman, what you look like is not supposed to be held against you. And time again, they show you that you can be sidetracked by anything light-skinned.
By the end, Wanda looked frustrated. The audience was dying laughing, and Katt had stamped one of the most infamous viral moments in comedy history. The fallout? That clip never left him. It's been chasing his career ever since. Katt didn't pull any punches when he went after Tiffany Haddish, calling out how she scored that massive Netflix deal without ever putting in the grind of a real comedy tour. He even doubled down, saying nobody could name a single original joke Tiffany ever wrote. From there, Katt zoomed out, pointing at a bigger issue, the way Hollywood overlooks countless talented black women comedians while someone like Tiffany gets catapulted straight to the top. According to Katt, Tiffany's rise had little to do with her own originality. He said flat out she was handpicked as a safe face for white audiences to latch onto. That's when Wanda tried to clap back, arguing that Tiffany blew up because she's authentic and relatable. But Katt wasn't letting that ride. He doubled down, insisting Tiffany only rose to the top for two reasons. She constantly jokes about dating white men, and her lighter skin tone gave her an unfair boost. That's when the interview turned tense. Wanda suddenly flipped the script, asking if Katt even knew how to cook for his own kids. Instead of brushing it off, Katt went in without hesitation. He clowned her cooking, saying anybody can boil broccoli, and mocked her baked chicken like it was the weakest flex ever. Then he got personal, coming for her appearance, cracking on her hair, and daring her to run her gnarled fingers through his perm-free 19-inch locks. The back and forth got so sharp you could practically feel the tension buzzing over the airwaves. Wanda tried to hold her ground, but Katt was relentless, spitting out one brutal punchline after another. At one point, he hit her with, "That's dope, you cook, but do you even cook for your kids?" And with that, the energy in the room shifted completely, locking in one of the most infamous roast sessions ever caught live on radio. For a second, it looked like Katt and Wanda managed to laugh it off and smooth things over. But just as the vibe seemed cool again, Katt threw a curveball straight out of left field, cracking on Wanda's kids and flipping the entire interview into a no-holds-barred roast. Wanda forced a chuckle, but her face said it all. She tried clapping back, dragging up Katt's legal history and even clowning his hair, but the move fell flat and blew up in her face instantly. By the time the segment wrapped, Wanda couldn't hold back anymore. She fired a last-ditch jab, calling Katt Lil Mama and hinting he might be gay. But Katt shut it down in seconds, and it was brutal watching Wanda take L after L on her own show. At one point, he even cracked, "Hey Wanda, get this inmate out of here." That line sealed it. The roast wasn't just comedy anymore, it was demolition. And that's when things went left for real. Wanda clearly couldn't shake the humiliation, and the beef spilled way past jokes. Word is, she sent her husband and son to confront Katt on September 15th, 2018, outside the Atlanta Comedy Theater where she was hosting.
out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me that.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600,
Whatever, little mama.
I'm Lil Mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
And what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it down.
prison. And you're
Yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it
yeah.
off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Reports say her husband Lamarus rolled up in the lot and even flashed a gun at Katt. Security cameras caught the chaos as Lamarus stormed in, chasing Katt across the parking lot. According to police, Lamarus admitted he chased Katt but denied actually pulling the trigger. Still, the mess was undeniable. Lamarus later claimed he only dropped the gun while running, while Wanda spun a different story. On air, she said Katt came just to disrespect her, and her husband was only defending her in front of what she called a largely homosexual fan base. But using gay as an insult in Atlanta, one of the black LGBTQ+ community's biggest hubs, blew up in her face instantly. Then TMZ dropped the bombshell. The security footage hit the internet, showing Lamarus with a gun in hand, chasing Katt into a grocery store. The backlash was instant. Katt later said, "They tried to kill me that weekend. Not with jokes, with a real gun, in my real face, on real camera." He even compared it to the Will Smith slap, saying if it happened to another comedian, it would have made global headlines. But because it was him, people brushed it off. Now, to be fair, the tape never showed Lamarus pointing the gun directly at Katt, and Lamarus stuck to his story that he wasn't trying to shoot. But the fallout was already set in stone. By January 2019, Wanda was abruptly fired from V103 Atlanta. No official reason was ever given, but whispers tied it back to that Lil Mama jab and her using sexuality as a weapon. The street said her career never recovered. Katt, on the other hand, kept quiet through the whole firing. Not a word. But years later in January 2024, during his explosive Club Shay Shay interview, he finally told his side. He revealed that the beef actually started before the cameras even rolled. According to Katt, Wanda had promised not to bring up his kids or his legal past. But the second he clowned Tiffany Haddish, she broke that promise, throwing shots about his family and his time behind bars. And that's when it spiraled beyond repair. What was supposed to be a routine radio spot turned into the roast of the decade, then escalated into a parking lot standoff, and eventually cost Wanda her career. Meanwhile, Katt walked away scarred but still standing, another chaotic chapter added to the long, unpredictable saga of Katt Williams. Katt Williams is a perfect example of resilience under fire. No matter how much controversy circled him, he showed up like nothing could touch him. Every move he made looked larger than life, whether it was speaking raw truth or pulling up with his squad. Dame Dash, on the other hand, didn't bring that same energy. He stayed quiet, and in this game, silence can make people forget you fast. Think about it. If you run a business, you can host an event, make it look polished, and suddenly folks see you on a whole different level. You never know who's watching, who might invest, or who'll start supporting once they see you moving strong. Katt understood that playbook. Every time people tried to cancel him, he doubled down, stayed visible, and forced the spotlight to follow him. Dame's silence made his name fade, and when people did remember, it was usually tied to losses. That's a blueprint. Why some stars survive cancellation storms while others fade out completely. It comes down to consistency. If you keep stacking wins, people need you. If you don't, they sit back and watch the downfall like it's their favorite show. They don't just forget you. They replay every failure and laugh at it like entertainment. That's when the whispers start. Why are you not cracking, bro? Why are you falling off? And once the word bankrupt gets tied to your name, everybody's talking, but nobody's helping. And that's when Katt's feud with Wanda came roaring back. He claimed she tried humiliating him in front of her gay fan base, and he swears that's what triggered her downfall. He even said the parking lot drama with Wanda's husband felt like a straight setup, like she really tried to have him taken out over a joke. Fast forward to October 2024, Wanda tragically passed away, just one day after her 58th birthday. And Katt? He stayed completely silent. No RIP posts, no condolences, nothing. Fans split down the middle. Some argued he was right to stay quiet, because if he spoke, the internet would have dragged him as a hypocrite anyway. Others insisted we don't know what went on privately. He could have reached out to a family behind closed doors. But now, with social media digging this whole beef back up, people are once again trying to cancel Katt for something tied to Wanda, even after he almost lost his life in that parking lot showdown. And that circles back to Dave Chappelle's warning, cancel culture destroying comedy. Katt's latest drama proves it. So now the big question, should Katt step up and apologize to Wanda's family the way he apologized to Michael Jackson's? Or are people reaching way too far, trying to bury him over nothing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video. Because trust me, this story is far from finished.